It's been a little while since the first upload of the videos. However, since then we've gotten a lot of work done on these two Miatas. The red Miata that we started off with, the fender flares, we actually completed the rear cutting and folding. I'm going to show that to you in a moment, as well as we did a fender flare install for the V8 Miata to fit some new tires that were excessively large. So yeah, let's finish up these fender flares and we'll see what's going on, and still trying to figure out this whole video thing. So here's the kind of cuts that we made, folded it over, and we have the rib nuts in here. And yeah, I mean, we've also done some minor body work here. You know, it's not perfect, but it will do. But the main concept is you kind of cut away the lip here, and then also make a secondary cut. You're gonna have 2 layers of metal, and you want to remove the top skin, and then you're gonna trim off the bottom portion of that second skin and slice in all these different sections and hammer it up and fold it and then trim it. I mean, it's pretty easy. You just gotta be careful. You don't want to mess up the body, and you don't want to hurt yourself with the cut tools. So yeah, wear safety glasses and gloves and all that good stuff. Yeah. So right now I'm just setting up to cut the fender liner so you can't see it behind the fender flare. And you know, it's just pretty thin plastic. Should be a quick cut, but I'm gonna use the Dremel rather than the grinder, and that way we get a little bit more of a precise cut. So right now I'm just grabbing some random bolts from my sorted bolt box to kind of temporarily mount these until I can grab the right hardware in the morning. It's like 10:30 or so, you know, Home Depot and all that is definitely closed, and I don't really feel like trying to hunt some bolts off of something else, because there's no way I would have enough to get all the way around. So this way I can just make sure everything's looking right and get the suspension on there and see how the flares are looking with, I wouldn't say new suspension, because it's actually the old suspension from the V8 car back when it was a 1.6 liter Miata, and you know, they're not coilovers, but they're lower springs, and they should make the car look pretty good. And you know, this car is not meant to be a performance-oriented build of any sort. So to be honest, it should be fine. I'm looking at this flare now, and I'm seeing a few spots that need Bondo filling and some more sanding and prep work before I take it to the body shop. Originally thought I was going to do the paint myself, but you know, I thought about it, and my work schedule is kind of a little crazy right now, and I really want this paint job to look pretty good. So rather than spending a bunch of time and money on me probably making a pretty good paint job, I'd rather take it to the shop and let their professionalism kind of speak for itself with their work and price point. But I haven't figured out a paint shop yet, so for any of you that are watching this, if you're Michigan based and know a good paint shop that will give me a good price on the Miata, need a like full respray, let me know. Thank you. And I'm just hand tightening these because, again, I'm probably going to pull them off in the morning with, you know, to use the proper hardware. But to get these on here and check the ride height and all that with the new shocks, it should be, you know, it's kind of worthwhile in my opinion. But so the front ones are on, it's trimmed, the wheel should clear nicely, but we will see if we have enough hardware to get all the way around the car. All right, so I've got these Megan Racing Fox, or Megan Fox shocks. Yeah, yeah. No, I've got the Megan Racing shocks off my old Miata. Quite honestly, don't know much about these. They're pretty low. I was definitely rubbing on my old setup, which actually the V8 car came with these wheels and tires on it, with these shocks and these flares. However, these flares weren't put on the car yet, so it was rubbing quite a bit, but I'm pretty much recreating the car that the previous owner was going to build with that car. But I decided to buy that from that guy and do the V8 swap. And now that I've done the V8 swap, I actually kind of miss the original like ethos behind the Miata. It's like just the flat out, you can just drive it with the pedal all the way down all the time. Not saying that the V8 car isn't a blast to drive, it is, but it's a project car, and project cars have little issues here and there. Like, to be honest, having a pretty big wiring issue right now with the V8 car. It's a easy fix, but it could have been a big, you know, fire, to be honest. We had a lot of smoke coming from behind the dashboard last night when we were about to head to a car show with the V8 car. So that's kind of why the car is coming into these videos. We're starting to work on it again, and yeah, but back to this car. Alright, so a bit of an update. Day 2 or 3 of doing this Miata work. Had to do a bit of personal work, working on the V8 car. Haven't filmed all that, but anyways, we've got the front suspension in for the red car. We have pulled these out. You know, these were in pretty shitty condition. I mean, they were, you know, functional, but years of road use and abuse. The new old ones are from the V8 car, as mentioned. They'll definitely suffice for now. We definitely got to get the car on the ground to see the actual ride height, make sure it works out well with all the clearancing and the new fender flares, but it should. Anyways, we got the rear suspension to throw in still. We're having a little bit of problems with that. Colin and I have been working on it, but Colin's out picking up some Jeep parts for his build. But right now, one of the camber bolts sheared off and is broken inside its mounting point, so gotta pull that out. Hopefully not have to mess up the subframe. And also the mounting bolt for the suspension, like the rear mounting bolt, actually appears to be kind of just freely rotating in there and not coming out. So the bolt that is actually in the control arm is probably like broken free from its welds. That's my assumption. But we'll probably have to end up pulling the control arm on that passenger side. Thankfully I have a few spares sitting around, and we'll see what we have to do, but it's definitely turning into a bit of a project beyond just like a 20-minute coilover install, so, or not even coilovers in this case, but 20-minute suspension install has definitely turned into a 2 or 3 day process. Anyways, I'm gonna get working on this.
The bird. What up, buddy?
All right, so we've had this bird flying around the warehouse for like 2 days, and we finally caught it. So yeah.
You should close up, Mr. Bird. Yeah, get in there. What a bird. Oh, he looks super happy. It's actually a pretty fucking beautiful bird.
He's like, you shot at me earlier. Fuck you.
Should we keep him? Should we toss him? Should we set him free? What to do? So the shop is a complete mess, but we've made progress on both Miatas. We are, however, held up on needing some new parts, or new old parts for us. The lower control arm for the passenger side, as mentioned before, the bolt for the shock is actually stuck in here. The bolt is rotating behind there. There's no way to grab onto it without cutting a panel, so we decided to just, you know, remove it fully with the shock attached. But that brought in some complications of
the bolt for the knuckle was seized on there in the sleeves. They kind of welded themselves together. So we had to cut on both sides of the sleeve, right here and here. And we now have freed the knuckle from the control arm. So we don't have to rip apart the knuckle and all that other stuff like I thought I was going to before. But until the part gets here, I'm working on my personal car, and currently the work is needing to clearance the front wheels a little bit more. I was about to head out to a show the other day, and I noticed that I have immense scrub. So pretty much this whole portion right here was grabbing the tire, and I have frog arm stiffeners, so that was making contact here, kind of slicing up the tire. So we'll see if this works. I might have to clearance this more, I'm not sure. No way to know until it really gets on the ground. So gotta beat it with a big fucking hammer, and we'll see what happens.